Yeah, Coach, could you just go over the first play 10-man tribute to Demaryius, how that all came together, and how do you think your team responded to all the emotions they went through later in the week?
Yeah, well, obviously they responded well, and it was obvious to me. I didn't have the honor of knowing DT, but the people in our building, the 10 players and the multiple amount of coaches and workers in our building, and then you could just feel the outpouring of love and sadness within the Denver community. It was, we wanted to tribute him any way we could. I'd like to take credit for that idea of the 10 men, but it was not me. But when they came to me with it, I said okay, and talked with Dan Campbell. He agreed to not accept the penalty, and which was a classy move on his part. And the Detroit Lions, they're a classy organization. And John Hussey, the referee, was in on it. He knew about it. But really the credit, I think, go to Patrick. I think he thought of the idea to do that.
Your defense had a bunch of takeaways, but how, I guess, fitting was it, and Justin make that crazy pick and then be right there and place the ball between the eights? Yeah,
that was a hell of a play by Justin. That was not a bad throw by the quarterback or a bad route by the receiver. It happened right in front of me. I had a good look at it. It was just a tremendous football play by a tremendous player. And I didn't know he brought it over there to the 88, but that's just icing on the cake.
Hey, Vic, you got your fast start today of 2 touchdown drives out of the gate. How impressed were you with the way you started and also your 2 running backs sort of sharing the load like that?
Yeah. Our 2 running backs have been doing that all year, but I think a good bit of credit needs to go to the O-line and the tight ends. Anytime you hand it off 39 times and the other team knows you're handing it off that many times and you're able to grind out the yards, credit to the guys doing the blocking. But our 2 backs are really, really good. And I love them both. Glad we have them both. And, nobody's going to carry it 39 times by themselves.
How'd you see right here? Sorry, how'd you see the guys keep their composure today, and what's it like in the locker room after the game?
I was good. Winning is what it's all about in this league. And so everybody enjoys a win. It's cured more ills than penicillin. But penicillin lasts a lot longer. This one just lasts for 6 days, and you got to go do it again. And they're happy. I mean, the 10 players that knew DT, it was tough on them. And I think they rallied, in honor of him. We had, Curtis Mockins. I think I told you guys the other day, he recruited him to Georgia Tech. So he had a long relationship with him and coached him at Georgia Tech, and then was on the staff here in 18 with them, and it affected him in a tremendous way too. So, and Zach Azani, who coached him 1 year, those 2 guys were really affected by it.
Coach Garrett had told us on Friday that he thought the best way to honor DT was to reach the playoffs, to finish the right way. You've put yourself in that conversation. How do you feel about that at 7-6 with the Bengals coming in?
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like right now. Ryan's asked me a few times what number does it need to get to, and I tell him I don't know every time, and I'm not ducking his question because I really don't know. But we're going to approach every game like it's a must-win and go at it like that and see how many we can get here in these next 4 weeks.
You've talked a lot about playing complementary football. You guys were able to do that today. Is that the best complementary football you guys have maybe played this season, and what can that do for you guys going forward?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can score, a significant amount of points, it just helps everything, okay? Because we had a bad stretch there defensively where they got 10 points on us in 2 successive drives. And but we were able to answer it with a nice 2-minute drive at the half where I think we managed the clock well. That final play where we were able to get the extra however many yards it was and get it spiked in time. We worked on that play this week in practice. I pick out certain situations to work on in practice. You can't work on them all every week or we need lights out at the facility. But the guys executed it well. and Brandon nailed the kick, and that was big. It was only, 38-10 is the final score, but those 3 points were big.
Draymond Jones' second half has a series in which he gets a sack, a tackle for loss, and deflects a fourth down pass. What can you just say about the way that he's come on for you defensively?
Yeah, he's really come on here of late. He's playing good football for us. We need him to. Part of being a good pass defense team is the pass rush, and we need that to show up. Tackle for a loss when you're really kind of struggling against the run a little bit is big to get them out of the favorable down and distance, and he came through there. And we expect that from him. He's a good player, and we need that to continue.
Follow up on Draymond. Is he okay? I saw him come off the field there.
I think so. But, Vince thinks he's going to be okay. He hurt his foot a little bit. Hopefully it is only a little bit, and we don't get a surprise tomorrow.
Do you have any updates on the other guys who left the game?
Yeah, Kenny is in the concussion protocol, and those are the only 2 that he told me about after the game.
And then do you have game balls after a game like
Yeah,
that?
we gave one to DT's family, and I gave it to Cortland and Tim in honor of DT. They both knew him. Gave one to Draymond, gave one to the 2 backs. For first time in 60 years, the Broncos have had 2 running backs score 2 touchdowns. And I gave one to Flip, our equipment manager. His mother passed away last weekend. It's been a rough week for him, so we gave one to Flip.
Back to the end of half and the kick. I know you obviously picked up more and more yards because of the play and then the penalty. Was there a distance that you were comfortable with, like where you were going to let him try for the record?
In that situation, I was going to stretch him. I would have gave him a shot in the low 60s.
Vic, last 7 games, your defense has given up 15 points a game in that span. On a big picture basis, how is this what you want to see, or can it get even better?
Yeah, points allowed. We all talk about a lot of stats, but points allowed and points scored is, after the W and L, is really the 2 most important stats, and we've been doing a pretty good job of that. We need to continue that. Cincinnati's coming in here with a high-powered offense, and then we got the 3 divisional opponents, and we all know how high-powered those offenses are. So if we're going to get to where we want to get, it's going to have to continue.
Vic, you mentioned the O-line, same 5 for a couple straight games now. Can you see that rhythm that they're developing up front?
Yeah, it's a good group. They're well coached by Mike and Coop. We had a good commitment to the run game, and we need to have that, especially this time of year. And if you can run it, you can build a lot of things off of it. We had some bootlegs that came open that were critical, play action passes, so that's where it needs to start for us. Thank you very much. All right, thank you, everybody.